I still have to go to Facebook and tell the devotees on Facebook that we are on YouTube today. All right. So it says it's beginning to broadcast, which is good.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam, Varshana Mataji. Good to see you on the call.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so this is good. We are broadcasting on YouTube, which is a good sign here. And let me just go and tell our friends on Facebook that today we're going to broadcast on YouTube again. Okay. Okay. So let's see. We got that going. So we are there on YouTube, and let's get. So what do we start with every day? Can someone remember?
Prayers. Prayers.
Which prayers are those?
Yeah.
Vigyapti Panchak. And Janaki might not have a copy of that, right? Janaki, do you have? Janaki might not have. Ishwari Radha might not have.
Yeah, I don't have.
Kathy, can you post it on the WhatsApp group, on our WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I'm going to bring that up here. And just wanted to welcome everybody who's joining us on YouTube as well as on the Zoom call here today. We had some technical glitches and could not broadcast on Facebook. So please bear with me. And let's see. Okay. YouTube. Kathy Mataji, also let me know when you're
Yeah, just give me 1 second, Mataji.
ready. Take your time, no big hurry. Yeah, no pressures there. Okay, we see it there. That's good. And here. Okay, now I know the difference. See that here. And let me also bring up that prayer. I think I closed it yesterday. Okay, so we were saying that the song is called Vigyapti Panchak, and then what's the origin and the source of this?
Padma Purana for few.
For few.
And then Archana Padavali for the others.
Okay, so you are close. Actually, if you say that this is coming from Archana Paddhati, the process of Archana,
yeah.
Archana Paddhati, then it is fine because everything is coming from there. But then from where was Archana Paddhati coming?
From Sanatana Hari Bhakti Vilas.
Hari Bhakti Vilas. Very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm trying to bring that up, but it won't bring.
Mataji, means, can you please pronounce one more time, like Vanchak, Vigyapti Panchaka?
Like Vigyan, like Vigyap, Vigyap, Vigyapti. 3 pieces there. Vigyapti Panchaka.
Vigyapti Panchaka.
Panchaka, right? And Sanatan Goswami had written that. And who's Sanatan Goswami? He's one of the 6 Goswamis, right? That we have of Vrindavan. All right. So let me see who all are there on the call. So we have, actually today we have, 2 new people, and they are my god sisters. So I just wanted all of you to introduce yourself. And starting with Kathy Mataji.
Hare Krishna, my name is Khyati. I live in Millbrae, California, and I'm so excited to start my day with Shraddha Mataji and the blessings. So entire day the vibration stays. So thank you so much, Shraddha Mataji, and all the devotees.
Thank you, Khyati Mataji, for pushing me to do this. We just started this recently, about 2 weeks ago. Okay, good, good. Varshana?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm Shraddha-devi Dasi. I'm Shraddha Mataji's god sister. And I live in Pune. And it is very nice to end my day with the prayers with her, so that I dream of her. I dream of all the scriptures. Hare Krishna.
Very good. That's a nice dream. Okay, Preeti?
Hare Krishna, I'm Preeti Radhika Dasi. I live by Sacramento in California, which is half an hour from Sacramento. I'm disciple of Giriraj Swami. Shraddha is my mentor. And I also love to begin the day with Bhagavad-gita, because then I'm oriented for the whole day. Thank you.
Awesome. And then Janaki, you are on mute right now.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. So Hare Krishna, I'm Janki Mataji. I live in Los Altos, ISKCON. So again, want to start the day on a positive note, and I'm new, so I wanted to also learn the scriptures. Thank you.
Awesome, Janaki. I'm very happy that you joined the call, and she's in California, so it's very close to the temple here, Mountain View. Okay, Sutapa, and I think I made a mistake in renaming you. Sutapa, tell us where you
Yes.
are from.
I am Shritapa and I live in New Jersey. So, and for me also, it's a good thing to start the day with reading Bhagavad Gita and the Association of Devotees. And thank you, Shraddha Mataji, and for everybody for that. Thank you so much.
And Sutapa, where were you living before you moved to New Jersey?
That is the most important thing.
I was Shraddha Mataji's neighbor, living in the same apartment in Foster City. And from there, I came to know her and the temple and everything. And it started from there. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Every day, my prayer is that to come back. I try to convince her husband to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
I was about to say that. We have one more in our Bhakti Vriksha. Like
Yes.
when we start meeting physically.
Yes, yes. That is my prayer. Means my husband's and ours prayer too.
Yeah.
Madan Mohan is very merciful. So
We'll do that. Yeah. More than that, Guru Maharaj he's a powerful magnet. He keeps attracting people from across the world.
Yes,
So
that
you
is
want to
true.
talk of within the state.
Yes, Mataji, when I started just listening to his videos and lectures, it is really that I don't know the art of going back to San Francisco is more means.
See, this is all strategically. This is a phalanx. Nicely arranged, to capture the devotees from across the world, bring them here, and keep them with us. Okay, Suyash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, myself Suyash Das. I live in Pacifica, in near South San Francisco.
No, you live in Govardhan.
Yeah, for
Go
at
ahead.
least to start the day. I really love to start the day on a great note. To start by reading Bhagavad Gita and having association of great devotees like you all. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Awesome. Okay, and then Ishwari Radha Mataji, where are you from?
Hare Krishna. My name is Ishwari Radha-devi Dasi. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And Shraddha Mataji is my Siksha Guru. I've been trying to get on a call, Zoom call, conference call, something with her. And then when she sent me link the other day, I said, oh my God, there's so many classes. Maybe this is possible in the morning. This is so nice. First thing in the morning, I would love to be in the association of all the advanced Vaishnavas. And I hear you guys all the time. And I'm like, oh, I wish I can be on there live someday. So thank you so much, Shraddha Mataji, for this
There
opportunity.
you are. Yeah, there you are. Thank you. I mean, as Guru Maharaj says that, and she's my god sister too, and so is Kathy. I just wanted to also mention that, um, as Guru Maharaj says, that if you keep on desiring something very strong, then it'll happen. And she's got a very beautiful altar. So, someday we will have her focus the camera on the altar and we can all have a look at that. It's beautiful. Her deities are very beautiful and she does a lot of, Neela is also, Ishwari Radha, her old name is Neela, is also very good at memorizing verses, So if anybody wants to gang up with her, there's a chance to do that. Okay. So once again, welcome to the call. And I don't know about YouTube. I'm not able to see much on YouTube. So I'm hoping that Shraddha-devi Dasi is joining us there. She's been pretty regular. So let's hope and pray that is happening. And then, so we will start here without much ado. We'll go to our Vigyapti Panchaka prayers, and it's coming up on the screen close to you. And let me know when you're able to see it. If somebody can confirm that they're
Yes,
able to
we can
see.
see.
Mataji,
Yes,
can
Mataji.
Okay.
you increase the font for Varshana Mataji?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for
No,
remembering.
actually, I should not say only for you because it
Yes.
for me. I broke my glasses.
Yes.
I'm not wearing my glasses.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just bear with me. It's not allowing me to, see all of you here. Today I'm being very much technically challenged. Let me first increase the font for you before we get reading. Wow.
Are you using Apple Mataji? Command plus will do it.
No, not for that. I'm trying to, that I will do, that I'll do. I'm not able to see you on my
Oh.
console. Yeah, it's my console that gives me grief. Yeah. And Command Plus doesn't work inside of Word, Microsoft Word. So I just have to use the Microsoft Words thing. Yeah. So which I'm doing right now. Is it good enough now?
Yeah.
Varshana, is it good?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. All right. So we will go again in the order of appearance on my console, which is again, which has messed me up. So anyway, go ahead. How we started introducing ourselves, right? So it was Kathy first. Do you remember which order you in?
Yeah, I was first.
Yeah, so Kathy can go.
Okay.
Each one of you just do one words. Even if two are together, just do one. Yeah, and then we'll come back and do the translations like that. So one. Go ahead, Kathy Mataji.
Mat samo nasti papatma na paradhi cha kashanna parihare pilajjame kim bruve purushottama.
Next. Anybody go next?
युवतीनां यथा योनि ऊनां च युवतौ यथा मनोभिरमते तद्वन् मनोमेरं तां तव्यै त्वयि.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bhumaus Khalita Padmanam
Padanam.
Bhumair Evalambanam Tvaijta Jata Parardhanam Tvam Eva Sharanam Prabhu. Tvam Eva.
Okay. Also remember the order in which you are going, right? Remember the one who came before you and who came after you, like that. So we'll establish the thing, because today technology is giving me grief. Like, I can't even see my console properly. Okay.
Govinda Vallave Radhe Parthaya Tvam Aham Shada Tvaditam Iti Janatu Govinda Mam Tvashaha.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Radhe Vrindavanadise Karunamrita Vahini Kripaya Nija Padabja Dasyam Mahayam Pradiyatam.
Sasyam madhyam pradiyatam. Very good. Okay, let's go continue with the readers, and we'll now go and do the translations, one each. So here, who wants to go next? Just remember your position.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else wants to go?
Okay, Mataji. O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as mind of young ladies take pleasure in young men, and the minds of young men take pleasure in young women. Kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ishwari, Radha, and Janaki, do you want to read the translations one each?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can
Janki.
do. Yeah. Just
Okay.
as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet. So
Hare
this is Hare Krishna. So this is from Archana Paddhati, which is something that is recommended as one of the prayers that we do, that we recite when we do the worship of the deities. This is Vigyapti, and Panchaka means 5. So you see there are 5 verses there, and Vigyapti basically means that you're opening your mind to Radha Krishna. So when you are pursuing devotional service, then you have to open up, right? And also, like, when you go to the doctor, if you're suffering from something, and the doctor will ask you questions, so you have to open up. If you don't open up with the doctor, if you don't tell him everything which is going on with you, then and what all you're doing or not doing, then you won't get the right medicine from the doctor. So similarly here, when you're beginning the devotional service, we lay out ourselves like, this is who I am, Radha and Krishna, and then we beg for their mercy there, right? So I'm going to go and now bring up the first chapter of Bhagavad-gita, and we'll start doing that after the prayers. Prayers. So it's good to start the day with prayers, isn't it? So here we are, and let's get going. Om Ajnanatimharandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai
Shri Gurave Namaha.
Okay, so let's get going. Reading from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And how were we reading? I had read. Okay, so then we can start the cycle again. So who went in first?
I can read, Mataji.
Please, yeah, please.
Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in the military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhim and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhan, Virat, and Drupad. Hare Krishna.
Oh, hold on just one second. I need to increase the font for this also, right? Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
Mataji, can you scroll up a little bit? It's 5th and 6th.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Text 5. There are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhuja, and Saipya. There are the mighty Yudhyamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force. There are personalities like you, Vishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Shamadatta called Vudishrava, who are also victorious in battle.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
Wants to go next?
I believe it's Varshana.
Oh, who's? I forget. I
No,
can't.
the Mataji from Los Angeles.
I think me.
Janki. She's from
Janki
Los Gatos. Yeah.
Yeah, text 10, right?
Yeah.
Our
No,
strength
11.
is
11.
No,
Sorry,
11, Mataji.
11.
all of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandchild of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
Ishwari Radha, you want to read?
Can you scroll up, Mataji?
Okay.
Or scroll down, yeah. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Who's next? Is it me or somebody?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his, the Devdatta. And Bhim, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Anant Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
The blowing of these different conch shell became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Text 21 and 22. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Hare Krishna.
Who goes next?
Shwesh Prabhu.
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Text 25. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other Kshatriyans of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
There Arjuna could see, within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-laws and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning."
Text 30. I'm now unable to stand here any longer. I'm forgetting myself. Sorry, I'm forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Kesi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Text 36. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the woman of the family becomes polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestor of such corrupt families fall down because the performance for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Text 42. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to wanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are demonstrated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Correct.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Sanjay said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. All of you give me a Hari Bol. We finished reading one
Hari
chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Awesome. Okay, so which text are we going into today?
15.
15. All right, very good. And whose turn is it to read?
Mine.
All right, go ahead.
Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Pondram Dadhumo Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrakodara.
Okay, how will you pronounce this last word? These two together?
Vra.
Vru.
Ra, Vru.
Vrukodara.
Vrikodara.
Any other flavors to that?
Bricode.
Okay, let's go and see. How did you pronounce this?
Rishikesh.
Kodara.
Rishikesh.
Prakodara.
Rishikesh. So how will you pronounce this?
Vri.
Vri.
Vrikodara, right?
Vrikodara. Okay.
Right. It's a re. So I just wanted to also mention that in some language there is, for example, I know in Telugu for sure because I come from that background. There's a letter in the Telugu alphabet called Ru, right? But in Sanskrit there is no Ru. There is no letter in Sanskrit called Ru. So when there's a dot, it's Ri. So it'll be Rishikesh, Vrikodara, right? Rishi, like that. Ritu, like that. Okay? Vrikodara. Okay, so whenever there's an R in the dot, you think that it is R and I, right? A small I, the soft
But
I.
Mataji, in the Sanskrit, like the text above, it is written as Vrukodara.
No. This is Rick only. This is Rick only. Yeah.
Okay. In
In
Gujarati, it
Sanskrit,
becomes Ru. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In some of the
Same
other
in
languages,
Marathi.
I know Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu. I know in those languages it's like Ru, and then they like we say Pritha, and they'll say Prutha, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, like that. So here we are focusing on the language. So when we are speaking Sanskrit, then we'll go by the Sanskrit rules. So Sanskrit rule, this is Ri. Right? And if you look at the Sanskrit pronunciation guide, which is at the end of the Bhagavad-gita, there they will tell you that how this is pronounced in English. From there you can
Kodara.
Vri. It is not Vra also. It is not Vra, because if it was Vra, then there will be you see in this one, pondram, right? The dra. So you see that thing is there below it, the dra. So dra, that is Ra, and then there is Ri, right? And in Sanskrit, there is no Ru, right? So there's no Ru here. Okay, good. Every day we learn something from the Sanskrit. It's amazing how much of Sanskrit you can learn just by reading these scriptures, be forced to learn.
So finally, Mataji, it is Vrikodara, right?
Yes, you got it. You got it.
Vrikodara.
Yeah, yesterday you struggled with it, today you nailed it down. Very good. Okay, so translations. Who's going to give us translations?
Mataji's names.
Mataji, me. Niral Prabhu has come, no? So he may read.
I think we'll do it at the end of the sequence because otherwise we'll forget who was reading what.
Yeah.
And then the synonyms are remaining.
Yes, Mataji.
So that is the Janki Mataji's turn.
Okay, I'll read. But what am I reading? Translation?
Okay,
Yes.
you read the translation and we'll come back to the synonyms after that. Okay?
Okay.
Tanvi,
Okay.
please.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Deva Datta, and Bhima, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondara.
Okay. Now, who's going to give us the synonyms? Who's coming up next?
I'll give that. Mataji.
Okay. It's your turn?
Ishwari Mata.
Ishwari Mata.
Ishwari
Okay.
Radha.
Panchajanyam, the concept name. Okay.
Ishwari Radha.
Ishwari Mataji has to read, Mataji?
Yeah, we're going back
Okay.
to whatever the sequence was. I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
please tell.
Okay, so synonym, Panchajanyam, the conch shell name Panchajanya, Rishikesha, Krishna, the Lord who directs the senses of the devotees, Devadattam, the conch shell name Devadatta, Dhanam Jaya, Arjuna, the winner of wealth, Poundram, the conch name Poundra, Dadamo, blue, Maha Sankham, the terrific conch shell, Bhima Karma, one who performs Herculean tasks, Vriksha Udara, the ferocious eater Bhima.
Okay, let's look at the last one again, one more time.
Vrik Udara?
Vrik Udara, not Vriksha, right? He's Vrikodara. So Vrik plus Udara becomes Vrikodara, the Sandhi, the combination of the words happens there. Okay, very nice, very nice. So how is Lord Krishna addressed in this verse? What are we calling him?
Rishikesha.
Rishikesh. And what does he do as Rishikesh?
Who
He
controls
the owner
the
of the
devotees.
all senses.
Yeah, he controls and directs the senses. Very good. And what's the name of the conch shell that Arjun has?
Devdatta.
Devadatta.
Datta. Okay. And what about Bhima?
Everything is
Pondra.
voracious.
Pondra.
Pondra, yeah.
Pondra.
Okay. And how is Bhima characterized?
Ferocious.
Everything is big about him.
Voracious. Okay. Good. Okay. And so he's a voracious eater. Plus, what does he do? Does he just eat?
Herculean
No.
task.
He performs Herculean tasks.
Performs Herculean tasks as well. Very good. So that next time we have prasadam at temple, we have to wash the dishes also. that should be our carry away from the verse today. What did you learn?
Mataji, here it is telling that blue is terrific conch shell. Why it is like terrific?
Terrific.
Because it belongs to Bhim, it's big and it's able to make those kind of noises, like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Maha. I mean,
Shraddha Mataji, I think we are all looking forward to eat prasad, and we are all looking forward to washing the vessels because it's been so long we've not gone to the temple.
Yes. And sometimes Krishna does that. I mean, this is for us to appreciate. And I'm always telling people that Krishna has done this, and this shelterness in place is actually giving us a lot of opportunities here. And the first is that, of course, like, see, we wouldn't have done this Bhagavad-gita thing if we had not been forced to sit at home, right? Because every day in the morning, everybody's rushing to office. So as Vaisheshika Prabhu was saying, that make the most of this opportunity. It's kind of like a chaturmasya existence. When you don't go out anywhere, you stay holed up and then you study the shastras, right? And discuss.
Yeah, correct.
That's what you're doing. It's a virtual thing, which is very good. And the second thing also was that when you're holed up in the house with your family, you will learn. It's a big exercise and a lesson in tolerating.
True, that's very true.
Because otherwise, I'm just laughing. Because otherwise, people have a way out, right? People have a way out. I mean, you don't like somebody, they along the way. Okay, fine. I'm just going to get out. I'll be out of the home for 8 hours. No family to bother me. Then I'll come back and go to sleep.
It's so funny what you said, Mataji, but it is so true.
Yeah, and we have to learn to laugh. Yeah, and we have to learn to laugh at it, because there are two ways that you can handle it, right? And I always say that miseries are inevitable because we are living in a dukhalayam shashvatam, and miseries are inevitable. But our choice is to whether we want to suffer it or not. So if you want to laugh them off, then you just laugh them off, right? You can't do anything much about it, can you? Okay, so having said that, on a lighter note, let's get back to serious business, and I'd like to welcome Vidyavadhu Mataji, and she's from India, Pune, and also Rohit Prabhu, who's also from India, and I'm learning Tamil from him. He's also a wonderful speaker. So let's get into this further. So we did the translation already, and we are ready to delve into the purport. So purport has got 2 paragraphs, so we won't be greedy. Each one of us will just do 1 paragraph today. Okay, so whose turn is it next?
My Prabhu can read now.
Yeah, Prabhu can read now. All right. Niral Prabhu, I can't tell you how happy I am that you are on the call.
Me too, Mataji. Sorry for coming in late.
No problem.
Purport. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesh in this verse because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalists cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in terms of surrender of the living entity, and in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna, and thus his particular name of Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed this demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as a son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki.
Mataji, can you scroll
Devaki,
up?
Devaki Nandan.
Is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandan because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Partha Sarthi because he worked as a charioteer of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesh because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Who's next?
You are.
You, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Arjuna is referred to as Dhananjay in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhim is known as Vrikodara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So, the particular types of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of the Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that of the goddess of fortune, for they were predestined to lose the battle. And that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells. Okay, so time for us to capture the reflections.
There are so many points, Mataji, but first what we came to know from the translation that there are three conch shells that was like Devadatta and Pontra and Panchanjaya. Nahi Mataji.
Panchjanya.
Panchjanya, yeah. And the name of Lords, the Rishikesh, that is also new to on this purport because we haven't read it before. So
Very nice. What more?
I loved all the names that that I've always been curious, but I loved all the names like Vasudeva because he's the son of Vasudev, Devaki Nandan, Yashoda Nandan. It was interesting to see how all of his close relationships had one name for Krishna. That was nice.
Good.
I really like this where he's saying God will be, Krishna will direct the senses of the devotees depending on how much surrendered you are. We tend to ask him, Krishna, please guide us, or like make me do the right things. So he would help us depending on how much we are surrendered. So that is that struck me very.
Right. Very nice point. And he'll repeat that as he goes further in the subsequent chapters. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamiham. Right. In chapter 4, he'll talk again, come back and talk about it. And it is what it is, how much you surrender, it's directly proportional. Your advancement in devotional service is also directly proportional to your level of surrender. Yeah, it's a good point. Any more?
Like the part,
Go ahead, Prabhu.
I like the part where Prabhupada explains that it's Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. So
Yeah.
here to the senses, devotee senses, right?
Yeah, he gives pleasures actually to, what was the question about the senses?
So to cows senses or in general all
To
jivas
our sense, yeah, he gives pleasure to our senses. Our senses. So go means senses, senses, and go also means cows, right? So Govinda, so giving Ananda to either the cows or to our senses, because that is the place where we will get the real pleasure. The real pleasure only comes from doing devotional service to the Lord. You can try anything else in the world, Coca-Cola, laddus, gulab jamuns. If they are not prasadam, they won't give you pleasure ultimately, like that. So it's for our senses. That's why Rishikesh.
So it's like he controls our senses as well as he gives pleasure to our senses.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah. If we engage our senses in the service of Krishna, then you will get pleasure. But he will control your senses nonetheless. Right? Because whenever you do some action, there are some 5 factors, and he'll talk about that in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. There are 5 factors that are involved. There's the soul, there's the body, there's the senses, there's the act itself, and then there is the super soul who has to give you sanction. unless he doesn't give the sanction, your hand cannot lift anything, even if it's like, so hand I'm lift. If I want to lift something like my cell phone from here, so I want to perform that act. So soul has to be there. If I'm dead, then I can't do that, right? Then the hand has to be there. If I don't have the hand, then I can't lift it, right? So then the act itself has to be there. So I might have a hand, I'm a soul in the body, phone like that, the body just lying alone in coordination with the body. I will watching me from the permission. So that's why he's known as Updrishta and Anumanta. Updrishta is he's overseeing you, and then Anumanta is he gives you permission to do that. So he controls our senses in that way. And then if you engage the senses in the service of the Lord, then you will also get pleasure there.
So Mataji, in this contrary, that anger is also controlled by Lord, because
of the word control, how we are using it over here, right? In the majority of the cases, when we are not dovetail, when our activities are not dovetail, when our lives are not dovetail with Krishna, then he's taking the role of Anumanta, right? Anumanta means I'm giving you sanction, I'm giving you permission, right? Okay, you want to do it? Yes, do it. You want to do it? Yes, do it. You want to pop 6 gulab jamuns in your mouth? Do it. He won't stop you from doing it, right? He will not do that. But then when you turn your face, and in my evening class yesterday, I was mentioning about Vashana Mataji was there, and so was Vidyavatu, that I just lost my thought. It'll come back. Yeah. So basically, what I was saying was that he's there as the Anumanta, permission giver. And then and I was giving the example of 2 birds. Yeah, let's come back now. I was giving the example of 2 birds on a tree, the famous words from the Puranas. And it says that, that there are 2 birds sitting on a tree, and the tree is actually our body. And the 2 birds are, one of the bird is
Super soul.
And super soul and soul.
And the soul, right? So the soul is the bird, the little bird who's hopping from one tree to another tree, which basically means that, you are engaging yourself in different activities, maybe changing bodies, maybe going from one planet to another planet, like that on a higher sense. But then within the body, if you're hopping, then you're just going from one pleasure to another pleasure, and which are like, fruits which are hanging from the tree. And sometimes the soul the soul comes across and tastes a sweet fruit, and it's very happy, and then it goes and pecks at a fruit which is raw and doesn't like the taste, and it's miserable, right? So that's what we do. We are trying to seek pleasure here and there. No, we don't get pleasure in all the places, and sometimes you might even get material misery like that. And all along that this is happening, the super soul is just looking and giving you permission to do that, not stopping you from doing any of that. But when this little bird turns the face towards the Lord, and that's the time when Krishna will take over. So at that point in time, he will direct your senses also. He will prevent you from doing bad things. So that'll come at higher stages of devotional service. When you are when will he control? How much will he control? It is there in the wonderful observation that Neeraj Prabhu made, that he directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity, like that.
Hare Krishna, Ma. So,
Yeah,
you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to finish the thought, because I had I saw that, and I wanted to bring that to your attention, and I'm already there on that word. So Preeti, just bear with me for a minute here. So I was saying that his name is, what is his name?
Vasudev.
Vasudev. Okay. And because he appeared as the son of
Vasudev.
Vasudev, right?
Vasudev.
So Vasudev and Vasudev,
Vasudev.
right? So just keep that in mind. Vasudev, and be cognizant of the accents, etc., which are there. And yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Preeti.
So I noticed that Srila Prabhupada put so much energy in the first paragraph to write about Krishna's name and his pastimes, and how they are on an absolute platform. Like for normal people, like mundane people like us, like I could be very smart, but my name is not going to be Smarty Pants. But for Krishna,
it is like his name, pastimes, his paraphernalia, his associates. He's connected with those. Like they're all on absolute platform. So that stood out for me.
Very
Very
nice
nice.
observation.
And
Very
linked
nice.
to the same,
I like the smarty pants example. Smarty pants. Okay.
and Mataji, Prabhupada's choice of words, very, very proper, very apt. Is he accepted Devaki as his mother. He awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda.
Mm.
So accepted, awarded. He's like a giver.
Mm.
Krishna is a giver of rasas. So he has
Right.
explained that in this two sentences, I feel.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. See, look at how Prabhupada, like, look at Prabhupada's moods as he's doing these translations and his purports, right? It's not that Devaki can say, okay, I'm going to give birth to you. No, it's all Krishna's thing. If he allows her and accepts her, then only she can be called as Devaki, like that, you know. But when we'll read the, maybe during Janmashtami, we can read the Krishna book. We'll read about his birth, how it happens. Yeah.
And I think continuing from what we were discussing yesterday, right? Here, Prabhupada says that here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna. Yesterday we were saying that Arjuna himself was a transcendental, right? But he went through this, and so that we all can understand Bhagavad-gita and it can come to us. So here also Prabhupada is expanding on that point, that he was already transcendental and Krishna is controlling his senses so that we can get the message. So
exactly, very nice, very, very nice observation. And we had used a term for Arjuna. And Varshana Mataji, you had noted it down. I remember that. We were saying that Arjuna it has something to do with Nitya. The term started with Nitya.
Nitya Siddha.
Nitya Siddha, there you go, right? So he's Nitya Siddha. So he is transcendental. He just, he just engaged in these. So you see how Prabhupada allows us to go delve deeper into the Bhagavad Gita, right? If it was not for the purport, if we were just to read the translation on the top, that anybody can do, even a machine can do perhaps, right? These days. That you take a language and you translate that in another language. Google does that all the time. Right? But the deeper meaning behind it, right? And that is why we need the lineage, we need the sampradaya, we need the acharyas, we need everybody to tell us, what exactly are they saying, right? Any other things that you noticed here?
I think second paragraph is all about Beam, right? And Bhima is like exclusively described over here amongst Prabhupada expands his performance, right? So probably because he's the one who is going to kill all the demons, all the Kauravas, right? And so I thought that was really nice that it's with the internal I always compare Bhima with strength, right? So it's the strength who performs the Herculean task. So if we look at internally, it is our internal strength that will help us to overpower all our bad tendencies.
The demons.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Very nice connection to how we can apply this verse to our real life, right? That's what the purpose is for reading the Bhagavad Gita every day in the morning. It's not that we're reading here to get some kick out of it. There's a lot of passion in these verses that we are reading these days. And but the real purpose is that even reading such a verse, which is at the height of passion, these verses, mode of passion, that we should still get something from it that rises us to the mode of goodness, because that's where we have to be there, right? To perform devotional service.
Also, Mataji,
Mataji,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Mataji, go ahead. No,
okay.
I have a question.
We'll take the question later, but I think Varshana Mataji was trying to say something.
No, Mataji, I think so.
Okay,
it was Preeti Radhika.
Preeti Radhika. Okay, go ahead, Preeti.
Yeah. I was just saying at the end of the second or the whole purport, Prabhupada is again emphasized, like in the previous verse, like the 14 text, he mentioned that, because the goddess of fortune is where Krishna is. So the victory is definitely on the Pandava side, not on their side.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he emphasized again.
Right. And what was the particular name of Krishna that we used there in the previous verse?
Oh,
Here, I'm sharing the words with you here on the screen.
Madhusudan.
Madhusudana.
Madhava.
Previous words. Yeah.
Madhava.
Madhava, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Madhava is that, he's
That's it.
talking about that he's married to the goddess of fortune. And Madhusudana means he killed Madhu. Sudana means kill, right? So he's killed somebody there. Okay. And yeah, what else? There's something that Prabhupada loves to do in his purports, and he has done it here. And what is it? It's in the first paragraph. I'll give you a hint.
Focus on,
Mataji? Oh, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
no, that was it. Focus on Krishna.
Oh, I was thinking maybe Prabhupada mentions here that we are all living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. And therefore, Krishna, he directs our senses. We are part and parcel of him. I like that point.
Hammer impersonalists.
Yes, I was looking for that. Yes.
Say that
yes.
again? I didn't get it.
He's saying
Hammer
that,
impersonalists.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, this is something, impersonal bashing.
Mm.
Prabhupada loves to do that.
Mataji, sorry, means I couldn't hear properly. So please,
Okay,
can you please repeat?
Yeah, I will repeat. My question was, and Suyash, I haven't forgotten about your question. So my question was that what is it that Prabhupada is saying in the purport? Like bring out what Prabhupada is saying in the purport, which he likes to do a lot in his purports. And Suyash Prabhu pointed out that he's talking about the impersonalists, right? So I was
Okay.
saying impersonalist bashing. So that's what is happening right now. Yeah, so he's saying that impersonalists will not talk about the senses, but here we are talking about the senses. We are saying that the Hrishikesh, he controls, he's directing the senses. So there are senses before we go and form any opinion that, we don't have any senses, we are just void and things like that. So he's like a father, constantly guiding us as we read the scriptures as to, what we should assimilate from these and what we should not, because it's, after all, it's a language. And we saw, right, in the previous verses, we saw how the same word aparyaptam tadatsmakam balam bhishma birakshitam, right? The word aparyaptam can be twisted, and you can extract any meaning out of that verse, right? So, aparyaptam means sufficient, or does it mean aparyaptam means insufficient, or does it mean immeasurable? And depending on what verse you choose, the results are completely opposite, like that. Yeah. So Yash Prabhu, please, your question.
Yeah, Mataji, in the second paragraph, Bhima kills demon Hidimba, and his wife is Hidimbi. So is that two
No,
different?
his sister is Hidimbi. His sister is
Okay.
Hidimbi. Hidimba's sister
Oh,
is
no.
Hidimbi, whom Bhim will marry and have a son
I
called
see.
Ghatochkach.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, who will finally get killed. He will help his father in the army, but he will finally get killed. Yeah, like that. So so yesterday we were talking about I actually wanted to also check the time with you, that 7:30 in the morning. There's a little bit more, like a lot more actually, that we can talk about these words. Are you in a condition to stay? Because I know you have office and all that also. If you can stay, then I can go on for another 10 more minutes. If not, then we can continue tomorrow. And it's okay to say that you have to leave. There's no offense taken. We are just doing time management here.
I can stay.
We can continue tomorrow, Mataji.
Yeah, we can continue tomorrow, because if somebody has to leave, we can leave, right? Because if there's work to do. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll come back and we'll go deeper into this particular verse. And there was a question by Shraddha-devi Dasi, and she's saying that what's the significance of the conch shell, these conch shells which are there. And so we'll talk about, and especially she was asking about the transcendental conch shell. So yesterday we had talked about that when we were talking about Arjuna and Arjuna, especially, that he's transcendental, right? And here also, in the previous chapter, let me just bring this back here. Previous verse, sorry, right? Shankho Dadmo Pradat Mutuhu, right? So we were talking about Divya Shankho Pradat Mutu. So they are Divya Shankhas. And why we had said we can understand Krishna's Shankh to be transcendental because he's with Krishna. And why is Arjuna's Shankh transcendental? And the reason for that is that Arjuna's conch shell is transcendental because he's utilizing that in the service of the Lord. Although this is first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and you might think that Arjun, how come he's using it in the service? Arjun is the one who's saying, I won't fight the war, right? And then we said that no, Arjuna is a Nitya Siddha. He's only acting this thing out. It's a big drama. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is not meant for explaining things to Arjuna. It's actually meant for us to assimilate that information.
Yes,
right? And we are such, fallen souls that if Krishna was to come straight away and tell us that this is what happens, prakriti kriya manani guna karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. If Krishna was to come and say that, hey, you are full of ahankara and you are a vimuda, you're a foolish soul, and you think that everything you do, it's actually I am doing it, it'll be very difficult for us to digest it. So it's better he's telling that to Arjun. Then I can quietly in my mind say, oh yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. Like that, I can do that. So that's why we said that Arjuna, he's being a Nitya Siddha, is actually doing it out for that. And there's a lot more. Actually there's a little from 14 also, which we can go into, and then 15 as well. And then we will do that tomorrow. Okay.
Mataji, I have a small question, not related to the verse, but in yesterday's class, just a small thing. So we came to know that we can go down in our bhakti if we do the aparadh, and another is the Krishna's wish. So Mataji, sometimes we have to block some people, means like we block the caller, or we block people like we don't want to disturb. So that will be considered a aparadh?
No, I had talked about, when I was talking about aparadh, I was basically, I was particularly talking about Vaishnava aparadh, right? When you aparadh towards the Vaishnava, towards the devotees of the Lord, right? Think bad about them, be envious of them, not, like that. If you are blocking callers, then again, go back and look at the intention, that why are you blocking the callers? Because you're taking up your time and keep taking you away from devotional service, right?
Okay, Mataji.
That's why you're blocking the callers. It's okay to drop the callers as well. But then you have to also think that you are a devotee now. How you drop the callers is also of very much a sense, because what great souls do, ordinary men follow. Krishna tells that to Arjuna in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So similarly, if you are a devotee now, and so your behavior will be emulated by others. So if you see that there's next time a salesperson gives you a sales call, how do you terminate that call? How do you talk? Right? And Arjuna also asked that question. Arjuna asked that question in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that, okay, how does that, Sitya Pragya kya ke muchyate? Sitya Pragya kya bhasha? How does he speak? So you have to remember, Vaishnava has compassion for everybody in their hearts. So you have compassion for that salesperson also, right? Because that is his means of livelihood. He earns, or she earns the money that way, right? So when they're making a call, we understand you don't want to buy that washing machine they're trying to sell you, but then there are ways in which you handle that call, right? So you can be very polite and you can say that, look here, I know that, and they come with you with a force. Oh my goodness, they come with you with such a force. They are trained to say that. They won't let you put a sword in, a word in, right? They go, da, 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 and I want to tell you good morning, da, 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 da. But then you can get a little forceful here, and you say that, look here, just listen to me. And then very politely tell them that, I'm not interested in what you're selling. And so I'm going to disconnect this call, and please don't mind it. And I wish you luck. And you can close the call. Second way of doing it is you can bang the phone on them. It'll be very hurting to them. And we had talked about that. Living beings are sentient. They feel. Right?
Yes,
so the salesperson will also feel. Right.
Very nice.
And the third way of doing it is that you can give them choicest abuses and foul language. You can do, the choice is always ours. Krishna has given us the free will.
Yes,
this is a great sense of responsibility.
Say that again, Ishwari Radha.
This is a great sense of responsibility on our part now that there were devotees. We cannot just ignore all the other, non-devotees. Oh my God.
Exactly. You cannot.
To treat
And it
them
is
with
so
respect.
funny that they are. It's so funny that in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is talking about devotees and devotional service, he will talk about. And Suyash Prabhu, if you need to drop off, please feel free to drop off. There's no, offense here at all. So he says that he's defining a devotee, and he says, "Yasman no dujite loko, loka no uddujite cha yaha." So uddujite means that you push them and irritate them, excite them, like that. So he says that a devotee does not do that to others, and he doesn't get teased off and pissed off by when others do it to him. And it's so amazing that how as you advance in devotional service, how these tests that Krishna is constantly putting in front of us, how these tests will become so subtle, and you wouldn't even understand, you wouldn't even know that, you wouldn't even know how that it was a test until you fail it, or it was a test and that somebody else points it out to you and say that, here, hey buddy, this is your test. For example, we found this wonderful thing called Krishna consciousness. It's the best thing in the world. It changed my life. My life. And I read all the verses. Says, oh, this gives pleasure to the senses. Oh yes, my senses are enlivened. I'm so happy, like that, right? And now you've got this precious thing that you found. So what's the next thing that you want to do?
You share.
You want to share it with others, right? And then you turn around, and who's the first person that you want to share with? And especially in these days of confinement,
Your own family.
your own family, right? And guess what?
Yeah.
The family does not listen to you. So then you go, then you go and you say, okay, fine, these are hopeless people. I don't know who I married and why I married and why did I give birth to these people. You go and think about all that, right? And then you go and to the extended family. Let's die on my parents, right? They're old. Maybe they will listen. They don't, right? And then we are going all that, and we are just saying that, what is this going on? Now, this is chapter 12, verse number 15 happening to you. Krishna is saying that, we are thinking that these are the ones who need devotional service. These are the ones who need to control their lives. No, Krishna is actually testing you. And Krishna is saying, I'm going to put the situation in front of you. Your husband doesn't listen to your sweet talk about devotional service. Your kids blaspheme you. Your parents, they're old and they don't get it, right? So what should you be feeling, right? You should not be feeling anxiety. You are the one, right? It's not they who are being tested and they are failing. It's not that Krishna sent a wonderful person that way and they gave up. Of course it is there, but then don't forget that the test is also for you. Most of the times the tests are for us. So even when the next time the salesperson calls, it's a test. It's a test. Mukhya prasada, do good words come out from your mouth? It's a constant test. This test is constant, 24/7 it happens, So
Mataji, it's not all time. It's not the salespersons. Sometimes it's someone that we got heart, and then they want to come back again and keep the contact. So that time, if we don't want to disturb again, so what will happen?
It's okay. It's okay if there are people who are coming and doing prajalpa with you. They are causing, they're just talking mundane topics, right? And then they are maybe agitating you because of the talks, right? Maybe they are saying hurtful things to you and things like that. And all these things will come back to you when you're chanting, right? So why do that? You have a choice. This is wonderful technology, right? Use a phone. People sometimes use a phone, and you have a choice of picking up the phone or not. I mean, and forget about in devotional service. Even when you are in a mundane life and you have so much of work to do, and when I was a manager, this was one of the trainings that they gave me. They said that your phone will ring the whole day, and you will spend the whole day just answering the phones. And not all of them might be important. So you have to sit down and you have to prioritize on your work and see that, what is it that I want to do today? What is my highest priority? So no matter what, even if the phone rings, then you can ignore it at that time and then come back and pick it up at your convenient time, right? At your convenient. Don't let others govern your life like that, especially when they are mundane people.
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna says,
Thank
time
you
I
so
am.
much.
Yeah, time is the most important thing. And then our devotee of the Lord will not waste. Avartha kalatvam will not waste even a single moment. Not even a single moment they'll waste like that.
That's wonderful, Mataji.
Yeah, Mata.
Thank you so much, Shraddha
Oh,
Mataji.
Yeah, you're
we can-
welcome. Every time. And also, it's not, you will be surprised to see that, it's not always the person who misbehaved with you did that and went. It's your own mind that is now eating up the time, because now mind is presenting it to you again and again, again and again, again and again. Right?
Yes.
And that is where you
Yes,
have to catch
Mataji.
it. Right. That's why, the external people just trigger. But then the mind goes on and you have to stop it. And that's why, like for the last 14 days, I'm talking about thinking, feeling, willing, and acting. You have to stop that process early on before you act on it. So, but it's good, Sutapa, that you're thinking about, avoiding those kind of people. The essence just is that how do you avoid it? And once in a while, even if you talk to them, that's okay. But when you're picking up that phone, you are picking up that phone with an agenda in your mind. And your agenda is that, okay, fine. Number one, I don't want to be rude to people because I'm setting an example, right? Number two, this is a test for me, and let's see how I pass this test.
Hmm.
Like that. So be
Okay, Mataji.
observant. Observe what is happening in your life, and observe what you're doing. Observe how people are reacting. Be an observer and not an actor and a participant in this material world.
Mataji, you said thinking, feeling, and two more things you said.
Okay, what did I say? Anybody
Thinking,
remember?
Thinking, feeling, willing,
Mm-hmm.
and I am missing the last one, Mataji.
Okay, acting.
Yes.
Acting it out, doing. Thinking, feeling, willing, and doing it or acting upon it.
yeah. Mataji,
Thank you
I
so much,
generally
Mataji.
You're welcome.
generally Hare Krishna, Mataji. Whenever
Hare
some
Krishna.
call comes in between or something, I just pick up the phone to just send a small message that I'll call you later. That's all. 2 words. I'll call
Yeah,
you later.
and nowadays technology is even more advanced that you don't even have to pick their phones, right? From your cell phone itself, you'll be able to send them a text message and say, sorry, I can't take your call. You don't even have to type that message. Those messages are pre-built on your smart devices.
Oh,
Right?
really? I
Oh,
didn't know that.
I
Mataji.
didn't know that, Mataji.
Yeah, at least iPhone does it. And
Yeah. Oh, okay.
now here I am at 7:44 a.m. I'm advertising iPhone. So Apple should give me like that. Yeah. Just turn around to somebody and local to you, and they will tell you how you can do that. Yeah, and you can also have your own custom messages defined. So yeah, you can do it.
I have to learn
Mataji,
that.
that Varsha Mataji has sent me the message saying that she could not join because her office work is still going on.
Oh,
She said
that's
she
very
will
sweet.
listen to the recording.
Yeah, just tell her. Yeah. She will find it on Facebook because I posted the link to YouTube on Facebook.
One. Okay, Mataji.
Yes.
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, you can switch off your video. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, and I think it's time for all of us to also call it a day, unless there's something burning that you want to address. Okay, good. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Those of you on Zoom call here, as well as those of you who are watching us on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and keep Krishna as the center of your day today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shraddha Ma.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.